Good morning, YouTube. This is me, Cheffalina, coming to you today with Being Mary Jane. I want to say, I'm not really sure what episode this is. It might be 7 or 8, or maybe 8. Um, Let's Go Crazy is the title of it. I'm not really sure why, but they did something in this episode that I absolutely love. They played like a lot of Erica Badu songs, On and On, Time's a Wasting, Bag Lady, and that first one, I can't remember the name of it, but I just loved it. I absolutely loved it. And so we start with Mary Jane sitting on the toilet, after she's had her the last scene with David, they were, making love, trying to make this baby or whatever. And she's peeing on the stick or whatever, still drinking. And it's just like I don't really understand what's going on with her, but she wants this baby, so oh well. All right, so it switched to her at work talking to a doctor, and the doctor's talking about relationships and just how you want to be perceived by people. And she's talking about the Johari window. It's like four different things. It's like the things that are open to your friends and family or the people that you want to be open to them. Well, it seems like I'm looking over there, and I should be looking over here. Where should I be looking? Anyway, um, yeah, it's like she's talking about the things that, as a person, what you want people to know about you, what you keep hidden, um, what is just absolutely unknown to them about you, and things that are like people say to you, like say for instance somebody could say to me, Washonda, you don't take constructive criticism, and I do, but I don't. And the thing is, I wouldn't want, not to think that I'm perfect or anything, but I wouldn't want to anybody to think that I can't take being criticized, or constructive criticism for that matter, from my friends, especially when I say, what do you think? And then when they tell me, I'll be like, wait, oh well, such and such and such and such. And my friends that know me out there, they know that I do that. And it's really not that I think I'm perfect or I'm trying to be perfect, but I don't know what it is. It's like I don't want them to, even though I'm like that after the whole ordeal, I want them I don't want them to feel like I'm really like exactly how I am. But we're all flawed, and that's one of my flaws. I accept it, and I hope my friends know that I still love them, and I only ask people their opinion, certain people, because I value it. And in the back of my head, if I'm asking, I already know what you're going to say to me. So Mary Jane is a lot like that, but whereas I don't feel like I'm mean or whatever, and will come back. Well, maybe I can get mean if I feel attacked or I just can't take what somebody is saying, but we all do that in certain instances or whatever. So she writes down, she gets home and she writes down what the doctor says. She gets her window, her 4 blocks, and she puts some names down on some post-its or her yellow pad that she's writing on. And she puts down David's name, Niecy's name, Nichelle. Now Nichelle is the girl, Brayley Evans, who she had that argument when she thought Nichelle had given David the information about her keeping his sperm or whatever. Let me see my bun. Yeah, I had got me something different a little bit. Yeah, swooped it up and put it on up on the top. I'm about to go work out. And I need to be on my don't have no hair, nothing hanging and nice and tightened up. But anyway, um, so she goes down her list and she starts with Nichelle and she says to Nichelle, like she calls Nichelle. But of course, the way it left off is Mary Jane got all funky with her because she thought she had given David the information about her freezing his sperm, but really it was her girlfriend Lisa who had who has that bug up her behind about David and Mary Jane. So anyway, she sent her right the voicemail, which I would have too, and I can't blame her. She can't blame her that she sent her the voicemail, but she left this phony message like, "Oh, hey girl, I miss you. I miss our friendship. Yada yada yada. I don't want you to think that the little sperm incident. Yeah, I'm gonna call it that. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, we can get and sit and kiki over it or whatever. But on the other hand, oh, and by the way, because she knows she's going through stuff at her job and she's feeling like maybe she may get fired for the position she's trying to play. So obviously, Nichelle is the person who can do or work with her brand and get her brand, established fully. And so she's putting it out there that she's offering her a job opportunity, and she just leaves a message for her to call her back. Okay, so we move on. Um, David, we go to David talking to Chris Spencer. I don't remember his name in the show. About Mary Jane and how in the midst of them making love or whatever, she said she had an epiphany from God telling her to do something else, or just like to change the whole what she had just said to him 30 minutes prior to them trying to make this baby or whatever. And he's just like, oh, she's so confusing. I don't know what to do. Chris is like, listen, y'all need to get it together or whatever. Me and my wife are having arguments about you two. We don't have arguments. We don't do that. And both of y'all are getting on my nerves. And you know, I don't understand. Like, you two do this all the time. You're just as bad as her. Don't keep saying it like it's her, it's her, it's her. It's not just her. It's the both of you. You both play games, and I'm sick of both of y'all. So David gets his little get the drink out. He's like, oh yeah, when I start telling the truth to you, whatever. The drinking man hears the truth. I mean, the man hears the truth and starts drinking. Then David says some old, that's why I stopped dealing with black women. David, I was riding with you, and I like Stephen. I think it's Stephen Bishop is his name, and I like your character or whatever. Yeah, I am kind of tired of you two. Y'all pulling the Olivia and Fitz thing, and it's kind of wearing and tearing on the people that's watching. But I'm gonna need you not to say that out your mouth. Maybe he said it out of being angry because I don't think he really meant that. But Chris Spencer got him right together. Excuse me. Don't let Mary Jane define all of the black women in the world because she crazy and you choose to deal with it. That don't make all of the black women crazy. My mama's black, your mama's black. I'm married to a black woman, and David cut the bullshit. Anyway, so he just saying like, you know, the communication is not there. It's there, but it's not there because neither one of you are really communicating. I don't think what you really, really want. You're both doing what you both think that the other one is one. Like sometimes you say some stuff, then you take it, or you say some stuff here, or you take it back, or it's just confusing. And he said y'all need to cut it. So we switched to get it together and stop playing games. Is what he said. We switched to Time's a Wasted by Erica Badu, one of my favorites. And she's taking a test again, and I don't know where you have to take 15 tests. Either you are or you're not. You know what I mean? I don't understand it. But anyway, she's not pregnant, and they switched to Niecy in her house getting dressed. I think she's going out to the movies or something, which come up later on. And she says, she calls Niecy, and she's like, Niecy, I want to come over. And Niecy's like, no, I'm in a good place. I ain't in the mood for your bullshit, auntie. Let me, I'm this, that, and the other. She was like, well, no, she kind of comes over against Niecy's will because Niecy's like, every time me and you are in the same space, it's a problem. You're always putting me down. You're always talking about my weight, and I'm okay with my weight, whatever, whatever. So push comes to shove, she comes over there. She's putting on her outfit. She's trying on her outfit. So she, her last choice was this little leopard tight dress. Mary Jane is like, behind her back. So she's like, listen, I feel good about myself. I'm wearing it. She was like, well, I couldn't say that I love you and be your aunt if I was to let you walk out of here like this, da da da. She's like, listen, this is why I didn't want you to come over. You come over here and you spew your negativity. And, I have positive things in my life, but you never see that. I'm good with that. I'm paying my own rent. I'm doing my own thing, whatever, living in here, but I'm doing what I need to do. And I don't need that. I'm in a good place. I'm about to go out, save it. So she was like, well, I really came over here to apologize. And she said her little thing, Mary Jane, because I guess she's trying to, I guess, get right with Niecy and apologize. But Niecy's like, you know what? At the end of the day, like, it used to bother me what you said, and I used to worry about it. But I'm in a space where I don't really care what you think. It don't matter to me no more, so I'm good. Do that, Niecy. Get it. Just go ahead, Niecy. And at the end of the day, when I look at Mary Jane and Niecy's relationship, it's like Niecy is really her best friend. When you really get down to the nitty gritty and you see how they operate, she operates with the mean stuff and love her one day and be mean to her the next day, like she does with her friends and her other family members. But Niecy is like her girlfriend, even though she wants to be, she's playing the aunt role, and Niecy is her girlfriend, and I feel like she's her best friend. and I don't think that Mary Jane is realizing it until maybe this episode. But anyway, so we move on, and MJ is meeting with Kara, her I guess her boss. I don't know what she is, so I guess she's her boss. Um, oh, she's not meeting with her. They're in a meeting, and they're talking about the same old dry stale stuff that they've been doing for stories or whatever. And at some point, I mean, Mary Jane's just looking around like aloof, like she gets up, gets her stuff gathered, and she goes and sits down and goes back to her office in mid meeting. Not I gotta go to the bathroom. Excuse me a moment. No, she just gets up while people are talking and left out. So they're all looking like, what the hell is going on with her? So in a minute or so, Kara comes and she says, what's going on, And she was like, listen, y'all are doing the same old dry stale stuff. I feel unfulfilled, and I just feel like, why should I be sitting in there when I don't want to do that anymore? And she was like, oh, so you don't want to do your job because you seem burdened by, the topics and stories that we're doing or whatever. And she said, no, I'm not doing that. I'm just letting you know that I just don't feel like, it's really I'm not here for what you guys are doing anymore. I'm sorry, that's my notes. I'm not here for what you guys are doing anymore. I was brought here to be a fresh face and get some stuff, and I've helped your ratings or whatever. But what I wanted to do is been on the back burner, and it's like on fire and burning the hell up. That's how long it's been on the back burner. I want to do stuff that focuses on the black community, black women, and stuff like that. So they get into it about what happened with the egg freezing incident or whatever. So Kara's like, oh, is that what it's about? She's like, no, that's not what it's about. It's about, I want to start doing what I actually came here to do. I already got you where you need to be as far as a station. I mean, y'all having focus groups about me where these people are saying that I was arrogant and stuff like that. If the focus groups is going to be the thing that take me down, I want to go down swinging with what I initially came here to do. And let's talk about my community and the things that's going on with black folks. So Kara's like, oh, you mean just black? You don't want to know, mix it up, whatever. And she said, I'm not going to do every single thing, but I like to focus on what's going on because let's keep it real. The things that we do to get the most ratings are the Trayvon Martin stories, are the Jordan. Oh goodness, what's his name? The other boy that got killed because the man in the gas station told him to turn his music down. Like, who the hell are you? And then he shot and killed him and shot up all the rest of the people in the car too. But those are the ones that get the most ratings. And if last I checked, that's what's keeping this station going, not none of this other stuff that y'all are talking about. So why not focus on my 10-minute piece being just about the black folks? So Kara's like, okay, she's not really here for it, you could tell, and I'm starting not to really like Kara. Like, I feel like she's pretentious, and I feel like at the end of the day, she will, because she has, throw Mary Jane under the truck. Not just the bus, the truck. Matter of fact, the subway. Anyway. So, okay. So when Mary Jane gets back home, she calls Nichelle back. And she calls Nichelle back and basically tells her, yeah, I was on some bullshit. I called you and implied that, I needed you for this job to build my brand, but actually you're not the only person that I'm looking into to help me. So I just wanted to call back and say that. And um she said, we're really not friends. I'm pretty sure you didn't miss me from your life like I didn't miss you from mine because we're not friends. And the fact that the reason why she called her back is because even though she don't want to be friends with her no more, she didn't like that Nichelle thought what she thought about her, which is, get out of here. You know what I mean? Like you all about yourself. You never, and Nichelle told her in last season, you've never been to my house, not one time. You call yourself my friend, but we've never been here. And her and Lisa laughed about it, like when she told her off, like, oh yeah, she said, I've never been to her house. I don't like her house. I like my house better, like saying smart shit like that. And then it was like, it was true. She wasn't really her friend. Like they were associates or whatever, but she wasn't a person that she would fight to keep in her life. So she said the fact that I called you back was only really about that. So you be well. It wasn't about me really wanting you to do a job for me. It was about me not liking that you knew the truth or the feeling that you had about me. I wanted to still pretend like it wasn't like that, but really not be your friend. But we don't need that. So you be well. I just was using the job opportunity as leverage to kind of sneak back into your life, and we probably gonna wind up getting into the same type of thing. And I appreciated Mary Jane for doing that at least. Um, so we switched to the next day. Kira, the boss, and Mary Jane are talking about what Kira and Mary Jane had talked about her segment being just about focused on African Americans. He's being sarcastic. Oh, Kira told me that you wanted your segment talk back to be talk black. So Kira was like, that ain't really what I said, but in a sense, yeah. So you could tell he's not here for it, and even though Kira is kind of there for as the mediator, I guess she has to play the fence like she understands where Mary Jane is coming from, and she thinks that it could work, or she understands where the boss is playing. Like she's playing devil's advocate. She's here and here. It's like she's playing the straddling the fence. So when Mary J just presents it to the boss, she kind of lets him know, like I just told you, the stories that me and Mark, her gay friend who lives next door, have been doing, and the color that we've added in so many words to this to the TV screen, to this network, has really helped you guys or whatever. And it's really not up for discussion because at the end of the day, I don't think you remember that's in my contract. I have the last say on what I do. So he looked at her like, "Oh, you gonna play that card? Well, yeah. Well, we'll just start. We'll be reevaluating contracts. Like in so many words, like if you buck us, we will get rid of you or whatever." So she stood her ground. He stood his ground. Kara going to come in and talking about, "Oh, well, let me just say this: the statistics show that the segment or the pieces that Mary Jane is referring to, they were some of our highest rated pieces." Or what, Kara? Whatever, bitch, out of here, because you are still trying to get your foot in. Because if they actually go for it and can get it to work, she want to be in on it. Oh, like, yeah, girl, I was there for you. Yeah, high five, high five, high five. When really she's not. And then they have if it doesn't work, she'll be in the boss's ear. "Yeah, I kind of told her that that wasn't a good idea, but I mean, I just let her do what she wanted to do just to see it would work, right? Okay, out of here." Anyway, Val, we move on. Val comes over to Mary Jane's house just to kind of talk to her, since Lisa and Val and Mary Jane was over Lisa's house. And she says, like, you need to claim your truth with David. You need to come clean. You need to say something about the whole situation. I think Mary Jane tells her about the pregnancy thing. I'm not sure, but I know that they're involved because David and Mary J are their friends and their husband and wife, and they discuss it. So David and the youngest brother talk about the deal that they made last week, and in the midst of them talking, and David saying this is a great idea, I want to be here for it, and he's excited or whatever, he gets the text from Mary Jane saying, "I'm not pregnant," and he just shuts down. "I can't do this deal. It looks like me and your sister are officially over." Her brother loses it and was like, "You a buster. You know what I mean? You're going to let this deal go. And you know how important this is to me. You already said it was a good deal. You're going to let it go because my sister hurt your feelings. How about this? I'm going to take my stuff. I'll find the money. You kick rocks, because as a family, nobody wanted." He said, "I talked my dad into telling Mary Jane to accept that bullshit she was giving her. You think we want our sister? You think I want my sister to take your sloppy seconds?" Then David getting his feelings. "Oh, it's time for you to go. Oh, it's time for me to go now. How about this? You are a buster, and I'll gladly get out your house." He said, and he said something else to him. But anyway, he leaves. He tells him off, and then he leaves or whatever. So we get on to doom, 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 on and on and on and on. All right, so she calls the hairdresser. Her hair is like whoosh. She calls her hairdresser, and the hairdresser is like, "Oh, I can't do your hair. I forgot to call you, girl. Whatever, whatever." Mary Jane is like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god." So she calls Niecy. Niecy's like, "I'm at the movies, auntie. Knock it off." She was like, "But I need you. I'll give you some free. I'll compensate you, and I'll give you some free babysitting." So Niecy comes over. They're sitting there. Niecy is fixing her hair. And she offers Niecy some wine, which I don't think she should have done, considering she always trying to say that she's not drinking, but then now you're going off to offer the same girl who's on you about drinking. What you trying to pull into your web, Mary Jane? Knock it off. Anyway, so Niecy says, you can act like we all back to normal, but we're not. You still hurt me. And I don't know if we're ever going to be really back. It's going to take a little while. And she said, you know why I called you over here, Niecy? Because your aunt, the real truth is, she's giving her truth this episode. I guess maybe it's Let's Go Crazy, because she's going crazy with giving the truth. So she tells her, your aunt was scared. She said, I used to look up to you, auntie. It was, you couldn't do no wrong. She said, well, you're so auntie up on the pedestal, was scared to go to work without her weave in her hair, because she would have felt like they would have felt like she wasn't beautiful, and she would have just been any average chick in the crowd. And she said, auntie, I worry about you. And she said, I worry about me too. And like I said, Niecy is her best friend. She can give Niecy, like she gave Niecy something finally where Niecy can respect that she is human. She does hurt. She does have feelings. She does have insecurities or whatever. And I like that about their relationship. I feel like that's going to be a pivot in their relationship. You know what I'm saying? Where Niecy doesn't always, she might come to understand her better, because she said, I'm going to try. I'm going to do better. She didn't even say I'm going to try. She said, I'm going to do better towards you. I'm not going to always be on you, because nobody wants to hear, oh, you're fat. What's wrong with your hair? Well, why you get those shoes? Anyway, that was some of my own little personal thing I just went through. But anyway, um, they start playing Hills and Potions, and it was like, okay, why would they play this? They didn't have a better Erica Badu song to Take It to Black, but um, when she listened, oh, David calls while Niecy is doing her hair, but she let it go to voicemail or whatever. She said, let me find out you being coy for the boy, auntie. I thought that was cute. And they go, she leaves and her hair is now done. And she listens to David's message, and it was like, listen, I get it. This is it. This is the end of the road for us or whatever. I guess you feel like, let me hurt him and push him as far away as possible. And he said, congratulations, you have succeeded. This is it for us. So he said, adios. And she listens to it. She hangs up, and they, I still love, 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 I still love. You see that? Love. But anyway, then she started dancing. I don't know what that was. What she was doing, but that was it. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I am Cheffalina Scott signing out. Gotta go get my on. On. So get at me on any Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram at Cheffalina. I'm Cheffalina on everything. And thank you for tuning in, all my new subbies. I'm up to like 25 now. I went from 20 to 25, 20 to 25. Anyway, peace.